this is probably the best suited scheme for you. The first 6 months you spend in a customer facing role. So you'll be trained as cabin crew and you get to fly for 3 months, and you're then in the terminal for 3 months supporting our check-in colleagues. And the beauty of that is that you get to understand real life problems that our customers face, and then you can use all of that knowledge to bring into your placements across the business to make some real positive change. So that's another one of our schemes. And then lastly, we have two types of placements. So the business placements are 11 months, and it's for students who are studying a sandwich degree. The placements take place between September and August, and we have two available for the business placements this year. So we've got a future leaders focused business placement where you'll be placed in one team for the duration of your placement, and then you'll work alongside the other business placement students to network and understand other areas of the business. So just give you it will give you a taste of one place where you can really get stuck in and make a difference, but also it will give you the hands-on experience that you need to help you make informed decisions about the kind of business areas that you like to work in. And then we also have another one in our engineering Wales base, which will be very similar. It'll be business focused, but it will be based in our engineering Wales team. I'm now going to hand over to Inez to talk about internships.
Hello. So as I mentioned earlier, I am now a fourth-year engineering student at the University of Warwick, and a campus ambassador for BA after I did my internship this past summer in an engineering placement at BA. And so, yeah, more the facts. This internship is 3 months, has a duration of 3 months. As it says there, you have to be an undergraduate. And then some of the things you do, like you get placed in a certain department within BA during those 3 months. And afterwards, you have the chance to be a campus ambassador, as I chose to be, for the year remaining of your undergraduate. And from my personal experience, so as an engineer, I wanted to get some experience on my discipline. And then I saw this opportunity at BA for the summer. I was also very interested in the aviation industry. And I would say that one of the good things that I got from my experience was learning a lot from this industry, which I didn't know much about. And then, so basically how it went, it was a few of us, as you can see in the picture, and we got allocated to different placements. So I was in engineering, but some of my colleagues were in finance and sustainability, in revenue management. So we were all in different places, but at the same time, we got to do activities together. So, for example, we went on a community activity day in London. Then we got the chance to, I don't know if there are aviation geeks around, but we got to go to the Farnborough Air Show, and there we got to compete in a global innovator challenge, and we proposed an idea for sustainable aviation fuels. And then, yeah, we learned a lot about sustainability and the aviation industry, and it was great to see the show and all the involvement. So it's not just about the experience working in your placement and in your role, but also we got to do things with the other interns and go a bit outside of the workplace. So I would completely recommend that. And it's a bit of like the future leaders graduate scheme, but in a shorter period. So it gives you a good glance of what BA is and what this graduate scheme would be. So I completely recommend. Lovely. I can hand over now to Mel. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And what's great about our internships and business placements is that after you finished your placement, you'll have the opportunity to join us as a campus ambassador. So you will stay employed as a British Airways colleague. You get a monthly wage, and you'll support us with engaging students in your local universities to consider a career at British Airways. So it's a really nice way to stay engaged with us and still be part of the family whilst you're going back to university to continue your studies. And that also, as well, because you're a British Airways colleague, you still have access to all the staff perks, and you'll have the opportunity to fast track onto the graduate schemes as well. So what I'm going to talk to you about now is the recruitment process for our graduate schemes, just to give you a taste. I don't know if anyone would like to pop in the chat if they are considering applying. It'd be great to know if you have thought about working at British Airways before. But first of all, the first thing to do is have a look on our careers website at all the different graduate opportunities that we have available. You can only apply for one, so make sure the one that you choose aligns to your career aspirations and is one that you're going to enjoy. Once you've chosen which scheme you'd like to apply for, the application process is very streamlined. What we need from you is some personal details, first of all. We then get you to complete one written question, which is around your motivation for applying. So what is it about this grad scheme that interests you, and what is it about British Airways that makes us stand out to you as an employer? And then lastly, you'll have 2 online ability tests. So the first one will be a situational judgment test, which is where we give you different scenarios that you would face on the graduate scheme, and you've got multiple choice answers that you can select from of what answer you'd select. And then the second one is a general ability test, and you can practice those online beforehand. The next stage, if you're successful with your initial application, is a video interview. And this is where we give you 3 interview questions that you would record your answer to in the format of a video. And so this is a nice way for us to get to know you a little bit more and really pick out, as I say, your motivation around why you would like to apply and be considered for this opportunity. And then the last stage of the process is attending an assessment day. And depending on what grad scheme you've applied for, this will include a interview with 2 British Airways colleagues where we ask you a series of questions to get to know you more. It might include a group discussion, which is where you'll work as a team to complete a challenge. And it could include a work-related exercise. So we'll try and give you an activity that might be something that you'd face on the graduate scheme, or just give you a taste of the job. And then after that, if you're successful, we'll offer you your employment and you'll start your journey with us. So why British Airways? What is it about British Airways that we think makes us stand out compared to other employers? So first of all, we have a huge legacy of recruiting graduates, and with that comes a huge network of former graduates that have filtered across the business. It's a great way to engage with other graduates across the scheme. So when you join, you won't be with the graduates just on your scheme. You'll also get to engage and network with the graduates on all the other schemes as well. So it's a great way to grow your network. Also, our grads get involved with our ambitious sustainability vision. So on the side of your graduate scheme, you could play an active role in championing specific community groups. So whether you identify with or are passionate about LGBTQ+, or are part of an ethnic minority, we have different colleague networks that you can get involved with to help shape positive change throughout the business. Our graduates also get involved with community investment programs. So we have lots of fundraising challenges that our grads get involved with. I personally have abseiled down the orbit in Stratford. There's loads of random things you can get involved with, but are really good fun and kind of develop different skill set. You can also get involved with volunteering in schools and colleges as well, and universities. So it's a great way to inspire the next generation and act as a mentor. And lastly, our staff perks are a huge selling point. So you'll have access to heavily discounted flights and also with the opportunity to fly at business class, which is really exciting. So what I thought I'd do is just give you some top tips for the recruitment process for those of you who are looking to apply this year. So the first one would be to give yourself ample time to complete the application. And to be honest, all of these tips that I'm giving are not just applicable to us, they are applicable to any company. So you can kind of use them throughout any recruitment processes that you are going through at the moment. So give yourself ample time. Don't try and rush it and think, oh, I've got half an hour, I'll just get it done now. Set yourself aside a good hour and take your time to go through it, digest the information that employers are asking for, and kind of just take your time. Secondly, I'd advise you to apply in a quiet environment with no distractions. It's really easy to get caught up on social media and other things when notifications are pinging left, right and centre. But if you try and focus alongside with time, you'll be able to have a really strong application. For companies that use general ability tests online, you can practice beforehand. So if you haven't done one before, it might be worth having a go just so you can see the structure, how the questions are worded, and the kind of format that they'll be displayed in, just so that you're a bit more familiar with it so that it doesn't feel as overwhelming if you're doing it for the first time. And you can use SHL's website to practice a variety of online tests. I'd always recommend to research the company via multiple sources when you're applying as well. So most people would just go on the company's website and kind of have a look at the history and stuff like that. But use multiple sources. Go on BBC News. What have news outlets been saying about our brand before you apply? What's going on at the moment. Have a look at social media. What is the business putting on their social media accounts? What are the new things, the new products they're investing in, and new initiatives and things like that. So, and that's a really great way to research the company and actually see if you're aligned to their values as well. And there might be something that you see that really sparks your interest and you'd like to know more about. You can make your application stand out if you do have any former experiences. It doesn't have to be a job or work experience. It could be anything. If you've got any hobbies, any enrichment or extracurricular activities you've been part of, any sports clubs, anything like that. What skills have you gained from those experiences and how can you apply them to this role and the company? And then another thing for me is just to show your enthusiasm. That's the thing that we're looking for at British Airways. All the skills we can teach you and help you grow in across your scheme. But what we can't teach is enthusiasm and that inner want to go above and beyond and work hard and do a good job. So that is the main attribute that we're looking for in our graduates. And lastly, we have a student website that you can access. It's free for students to use. We have loads of e-learning modules on there, including some top tips on recruitment. So if you've enjoyed this slide, there's plenty more. And also you can chat to digital mentors on there. So if you are looking at applying for one of the graduate schemes, feel free to online chat with our current graduates to give you a bit more taste of what they do on a day-to-day basis, the kind of projects they've been working on, what the graduate culture's like here, and any other questions that you'd like to know the answers to. So we just spoke about that. So what are the next steps? So applications for our graduate schemes and placements and internships open now. They will be open till the end of November, so you've got a bit of time, apart from finance, which closes in the next 2 weeks. You can sign up to the careers website to have a look at the different schemes. Every Tuesday between 4 and 5 o'clock, we do an online drop-in centre. So this is for if you're thinking of applying or you're currently applying and you've got any questions or want a bit of coaching, any top tips, you can join myself and my colleague Samantha, who can coach you through the application process if you need a bit of support. And for each of our graduate schemes, we have a upcoming live Q&A with our graduates. So if you'd like to join and hear directly from our current and former graduates about their scheme, what they do, what they've done since they finished the scheme, please come along. You can submit your questions and hear the answers. So that is it from me, and I think we're going to hand back over to Charlie now to do a Q&A.
Thank you very much, Mel. Yes, the questions have been coming thick and fast in the chat throughout that, so I'll just run through those. Feel free to pop some extra in, and if you're feeling brave, raise your hand and come off camera to ask a question that way instead, if you'd like to. So the first one is the internship available for postgraduate students, or is it undergrad students only?
It is undergraduate students only.
Okie dokie. Simeon, we've got a raised hand.
Yes, Charlie, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. So I'm just conscious that we've got postgraduates in the room, and their studies, their curriculum was designed to accommodate placements as well, placements and internship, a 3 months internship and 6 months placement. So if they can be considered, that would go a long way. Then I'm also interested in getting support, like support through the application process. I heard the previous speaker mentioned that they can provide support. So if I can get like an email address, or probably get signposted to whom I can contact for support, I would really appreciate that.
Is that the Speedbird link that you put in, Mel, as well, to the support site?
Yes, and we have weekly drop-in sessions. So the link to join one of those is on the job advert. So once you've chosen a grad scheme that you'd be interested in applying for, there'll be a link to join us each week. But we do have an email address for any students who have questions. I'm just going to pop that in the chat now for you, and we can send you the direct links if that's easier.
We've got a student saying that they're currently studying a master's in air transport management. Are the grad schemes open to postgraduate students as well as undergrad students?
Yep, so the graduate schemes are designed for if you have, all we're looking for is a minimum of a 2-2 degree. So if you continued studying after that, no problem. If you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s and having a complete career change, you can still apply as long as you've got that minimum of a 2-2 degree.
Awesome. We've got somebody saying, do you sponsor international students to go through the programme?
Yes, we do. So what I can do is provide some more information. Again, I'll pop the link in the chat for you. And this is bespoke to our emerging talent scheme. So we do sponsor students. Some of the cost may fall onto the student to support with when you start employment with us, which will be taken out of your wages every month. So it works very similar to a student loan. But I've just put the link in there for you as well. So if that does apply to you, feel free to have a look at the information on there.
Perfect, that's great. Another question, is there a graduate programme for sustainability management?
Not a specific graduate programme. However, our sustainability team are involved with our Future Leaders graduate programme. Inez, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Burge's placement, because I know he was in the sustainability team for his internship.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the internship of 3 months, one of my colleagues, one of the other interns, was placed in sustainability. It wasn't I don't think it was exactly sustainability management, but what he did basically was work on community diversity and inclusivity, and also for climate change. So there were like those couple of teams inside of the sustainability department. And from what he told me, he really enjoyed it. And in British Airways, there's a lot of action now being taken in regards to like CO2 emissions and following net zero, a net zero goal. So that's why we also took part in the challenge in the Farnborough Air Show, and why we proposed this idea. And like, there's a lot of work going on in that sense. So I would really encourage you to try and look for that in BA.
Awesome. We've got a question from Lionel who's asked, I'll just rephrase it slightly. What skills would you say are like the key skills when you're applying for the commercial business program?
So I would say what we're looking for are natural problem solvers. So, you have a problem. So it might be that a big market for us is America. Our flights to America are maybe not selling how we would like them to. So what can we do? So we want someone who's creative and a problem solver to think outside the box. Also, with the commercial business program, we need you to be a bit curious and actually understand, okay, we do have this problem. Why is that? Can we go further back and see, is there something that we can change or tweak? So being curious about how to solve issues, and also around the data as well, and kind of picking things apart to want to put them back together. So that's problem solving, and kind of creativity in that sense is probably the most useful skill that you could have on that scheme. However, as I said, we support you in developing that across your schemes. If you maybe haven't had the opportunity over the last few years because of COVID to exercise those skills, that's not a problem. That shouldn't be a barrier to apply with us.
Great stuff. I've got a direct message here from a student who says that they're studying life sciences. Are they eligible to apply?
Yes, so all of our graduate schemes, apart from the engineering, technical and data science, you can apply with any degree background. What we're looking for is that enthusiasm and motivation. So if you've done, we've had graduates before who have done degrees in marine biology and loads of different things that maybe you wouldn't associate with our industry. But as I say, as long as you have that foundation of enthusiasm, then there's definitely a place for you at British Airways.
Awesome. Simeon, got another raised hand, another question?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I've just came through the website because I just concluded a master's in operations management. I'm wondering if there are fine openings that's directly related to what I studied, because can't find any.
So as a quick, I'm not too sure what your degree involves with that, but I guess in terms of operations management, our Future Leaders program would probably be best for that, because you do have exposure to the frontline operation, and a lot of the placements that you'd be involved with is looking at business processes, how they could be improved, and potentially people management as well, so managing an operational team. So that would, off the top of my head, sounds like the most aligned to it, and I can pop the link in the chat for you.
Okay, thanks, Mel.
Cool. We've got another question from Lionel saying, do you supply training? I guess that's kind of getting at the sort of development opportunities for students once they're on the program.
Yep, so all of our graduates follow a bespoke development pathway. We align all of our grads with the same development opportunities. So regardless of what scheme you join, you will have the same opportunities as other graduates. And we do actually bring our graduates together quite often for those opportunities. So when you start, you'll do a week induction, which is with all the other grads. So it's a really nice opportunity for you to meet each other, understand a bit about British Airways, and then after that you'll go into your kind of department where you will then do a more specific induction and welcome. But depending on what scheme you go on, there's loads of different training structures that we put you on.
Awesome. Another question. This was sent directly to me. As somebody who previously has actually worked at British Airways in sales and for something called Call BA, just saying that kind of they're now studying for tourism management. Could you kind of signpost what sort of opportunity best suited to that type of background on the programs?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, for the majority of our graduate schemes, they are designed for people that maybe don't have any experience. So I guess it's a blank canvas, really. It depends what most interests you. As I say, for data science scheme and engineering technical are the only grad schemes that you would need a specific degree type for, but all the others are open. So I'd just encourage you to read through the different areas and see what one you think you'd enjoy the most.
Awesome. I think that about does it for questions. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind, Ines, if I ask you a question, one of my own. If you kind of had to boil down your time at British Airways on your internship into one like core skill that you've developed, what would you say that was, and like how a BA helped you develop that?
You asked me, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a tough question because I think I did have a really great experience and I got a lot of skills from my internship. But probably I would say teamwork, because so I was placed in engineering, but I could move around, and so I was constantly changing my colleagues and the team I was placed in. So it was very important for me to really connect with those people and work well and learn from them, and I hopefully also collaborating and contributing to the work that we're doing. And I really like this because I met many people. I learned from the different things within engineering. But yeah, I would say that's one skill that I really got to develop and improve.
That's great, thank you. And sorry for putting you on the spot there, but I always think it's really interesting to hear from kind of interns and people who are working, you know, in kind of like early careers roles at BA and at other organizations, just about their experiences. It's great to get to draw that out. We've just got time, I think, for a couple more questions. What kind of ability tests or aptitude tests form part of the application for the commercial business scheme? Is it kind of like situational judgment tests, numerical reasoning, behavioral, that type of thing?
Yep, so all of our graduate schemes have exactly the same tests. So you will be doing a situational judgment test, which covers some real life scenarios that our graduates have faced over the last few years. And you've got multiple choice answers as to how you would handle that situation. So some of them are, for example, you're attending a meeting and your colleague who's supposed to be presenting can no longer come. What do you do? So it's little things like that. And then also you do a general ability test, which is it's a blended test. So the questions that come up are a mixture of numerical reasoning, deductive reasoning, and inductive reasoning. So it will test your analytical ability, it will test your problem solving skills, and it will measure different things like that. And if you do want to practice them, you can go to SHL's website, and what I'll do is I'll pop the link in here for you.
That's brilliant, thank you. That was actually the next question. So yeah, got ahead of it there, well done. Got a raised hand from Clive.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Clive. I'm currently studying transport management at De Montfort University. I have an experience. I have over 7 years experience in the aviation industry. I did technical stores and logistics in my previous employment. So I want to know, like, someone studying air transport management, because I went through the website that you on immigration and sponsorship. There's no specific roles that let's say an international student like me can employ to. I want to know what are the specific roles someone studying air transport management can apply for at British Airways.
So yes, you can apply, and we do support with sponsorship. The only things that sometimes affect the sponsorship is for our placements and internships. You have to be on a graduate visa to be employed with that. But for our full-time graduate roles, yes, we can support with sponsorship.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, brilliant. So that about does it, I think, for questions, and we're running a little bit short of time as well. So thank you very much to Mel and Ines for that talk today, and kind of like combating all of the many questions that are flying out, kind of a bit like mastermind type style, loads of quick fire questions. It's been absolutely fab to have you both and hear all about the opportunities available. And from the sounds of things, we've got lots of students who are super interested in applying. So that's absolutely fantastic. To all of you, you guys on the call, students, thank you so much for joining. I hope you found it helpful and kind of inspired to go out there and apply for a role at BA now. I would say I will, but Amy would kill me. So I'll be sticking where I am for now. But thank you very much, Mel and Ines, and to everybody else, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.